when I called him and told him that, he asked me where I was, and I told him. He dropped everything he was doing. I'm not sure if he was working that day, but he hopped in his truck, came and picked me up. And we went back to his apartment, and we sat and talked, and he started telling me about the church. Well, it really wasn't a church. He called it a discipleship group that he was a part of. And it was called No Excuses. He asked if he could pray for me, and I told him yeah. And he prayed for me, and he gave me a wristband. And that following Wednesday, I went to the first service. You know, we used to meet in these little small restaurants, and we would pack them. You know, there would be a whole lot of people there. And my first experience of actually feeling the Holy Spirit was, I think it was the second time I showed up. You know, something told me to stand up and get prayer. And before Joel was a pastor, he was just Joel. Before he was Pastor Joel, he was just Joel. And we were standing there, and he was praying for these two ladies. I remember it to this day. And they had their hands up, and the next thing you know, they hit the ground, and I look at my brother like, what's going on? I was like, what is happening here? Yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't know what was happening. And he prayed for my brother Jesse, and next thing you know, he fell. And I was like, I don't know, I don't know what's going on here. I didn't know what to think. And then Joel came up to me and was like, so I raised my hands and closed my eyes, and I felt him put his hand on my chest. And he started praying for me. And then when I opened my eyes, I'm laying on the ground, and I'm like, how did I get here? And I look over at my brother Jesse, and I'm like, why are we laying on this dirty floor? What is going on here, you know? And at the end of the night, Cameron, who was Joel's brother-in-law, told me, he was like, you felt like a sack of potatoes. And I was like, well, it didn't feel like I did. It felt like somebody just picked me up and gently laid me on the ground.